It began with necessity. The Heinkel HE-1 was the company's first aircraft design and served primarily as a developmental stepping stone. Built as a small, single-engine prototype, it allowed Heinkel engineers to test structural layouts, control responses, and manufacturing techniques. The aircraft was not intended for large-scale production, but it established the foundational design principles used in later projects. Its significance lies in experimentation rather than service use, providing practical data that informed subsequent Heinkel aircraft development. The Heinkel HE-2 followed as an incremental refinement rather than a radical redesign. It retained a similar configuration while incorporating structural adjustments and improved handling characteristics. The aircraft was used mainly for evaluation and familiarization, helping refine construction methods and aerodynamic understanding. Although limited in operational relevance, the HE-2 contributed to the gradual standardization of Heinkel's early design philosophy, bridging the gap between initial experimentation and more practical aircraft concepts. The Heinkel HE-3 represented a shift toward utility rather than pure experimentation. Designed as a light transport and training aircraft, it demonstrated Heinkel's ability to produce reliable, functional airframes. The aircraft emphasized stability, simplicity, and ease of operation, making it suitable for non-combat roles. While produced in modest numbers, the HE-3 showed that Heinkel could move beyond prototypes and deliver aircraft capable of sustained operational use. The Heinkel HE-4 expanded on the company's early transport concepts with a larger airframe and increased payload capacity. Intended for civilian and training purposes, it focused on endurance and practical range rather than performance. The design incorporated lessons learned from earlier models, particularly in structural strength and layout efficiency. Although it never became widely known, the HE-4 marked an important step toward more complex, multi-role aircraft in Heinkel's growing portfolio. Then came expansion. The Heinkel HE-5 was developed as a float-plane fighter, reflecting early naval aviation requirements. It featured a single-engine layout with twin floats, allowing operations from coastal waters and harbors. The aircraft emphasized maneuverability and reliability rather than speed, aligning with interwar naval doctrine. Although quickly outpaced by land-based fighters, the Heinkel HE-5 provided valuable experience in maritime aircraft design and helped establish Heinkel's role in naval aviation development. The Heinkel HE-6 evolved from earlier floatplane concepts and was designed primarily as a reconnaissance and torpedo aircraft. It offered increased range and payload capacity, making it suitable for extended maritime patrols. The design balanced stability with endurance, prioritizing mission duration over agility. While its service life was limited, the HE-6 demonstrated Heinkel's ability to adapt aircraft designs to specific operational environments and expanding military demands. The Heinkel HE-45 was a biplane developed for reconnaissance and light bombing roles. It featured a simple, rugged structure intended for frontline use during the early rearmament period. The aircraft emphasized versatility, allowing it to perform multiple tasks with minimal modification. Though rapidly rendered obsolete by newer monoplanes, the HE-45 filled an important transitional role as air forces modernized their tactical aviation capabilities. The Heinkel HE-46 was introduced as a short-range reconnaissance aircraft designed for Army cooperation. It focused on low-speed handling, observation capability, and short field performance. The aircraft incorporated a high-mounted wing to improve visibility and stability during low-altitude operations. Its straightforward design allowed reliable service, even as technological advances soon surpassed its overall performance envelope. The Heinkel HE-50 was developed as a dive bomber, marking a shift toward specialized offensive roles. As a biplane, It combined structural strength with precise handling during steep attack profiles. The aircraft was used primarily for training and early operational evaluation, shaping tactics later employed by more advanced dive bombers. Its role was less about longevity and more about defining methods that influenced subsequent designs. War changed everything. The Heinkel HE-70 was introduced as a high-speed mail plane and reconnaissance aircraft, emphasizing aerodynamic efficiency. Its elliptical wing design reduced drag and enabled performance levels uncommon at the time. Although limited in military flexibility, the aircraft demonstrated advanced structural techniques and speed-focused engineering. The HE-70 influenced later designs by proving that streamlined airframes could deliver significant performance gains within conventional construction limits. The Heinkel HE-111 became one of Germany's primary medium bombers during the early years of the war. Designed for range, payload capacity, and production efficiency, it featured a distinctive glazed nose and adaptable internal layout. The aircraft served in multiple roles, including bombing, transport, and torpedo operations. Its longevity stemmed from structural adaptability rather than cutting-edge performance, allowing continued use as requirements evolved. The Heinkel HE-112 was developed as a single-seat fighter competing for frontline adoption. It emphasized maneuverability and solid construction, with design influences drawn from earlier high-speed research aircraft. Despite demonstrating competent performance, it was produced in limited numbers due to selection decisions favoring alternative designs. The HE-112 nonetheless contributed valuable data that informed later fighter development and export programs. The Heinkel HE-115 was designed as a twin-engine float plane intended for maritime reconnaissance and torpedo missions. It prioritized range, stability, and payload capacity for operations over open water. The aircraft's structure allowed reliable low-altitude flight during extended patrols. Although gradually replaced by newer designs, the HE-115 fulfilled specialized naval roles during the early and middle stages of the conflict. The Heinkel HE-177 was developed as a heavy bomber with long-range capabilities. Its design incorporated ambitious requirements, including high speed and heavy payload within a constrained airframe. These demands led to engineering compromises that affected operational reliability. Despite these limitations, the HE-177 represented Heinkel's attempt to produce a strategic bomber aligned with evolving wartime objectives. After the war, priorities shifted. The Heinkel HE-178 was the world's first aircraft to fly under turbojet power. Developed as a private initiative, it served purely as a proof of concept rather than an operational design. The aircraft demonstrated that jet propulsion was viable, validating years of theoretical work. Although never intended for service, the HE-178 established the technical foundation for all subsequent jet aircraft development within Heinkel and beyond. The Heinkel HE-280 was conceived as an early jet-powered fighter intended to replace piston-engine interceptors. It featured twin turbojet engines and advanced concepts such as tricycle landing gear and ejection seat testing. Despite promising performance, engine limitations and shifting priorities prevented mass production. The HE-280 nonetheless functioned as a transitional platform, refining jet fighter design principles later adopted elsewhere. The Heinkel HE-219 was developed as a dedicated night fighter optimized for interception duties. It incorporated advanced onboard systems, heavy armament, and a pressurized cockpit. The aircraft was designed to counter nocturnal bomber threats through speed and firepower rather than maneuverability. Although produced in limited numbers, the HE-219 represented one of Heinkel's most technically sophisticated piston-engine combat aircraft. The Heinkel HE-274 originated as a high-altitude bomber derived from earlier heavy bomber concepts. Designed for operations at extreme altitudes, it emphasized pressurization and long-range capability. The aircraft never entered operational service under its original plans, as development was disrupted by the war's outcome. Its design focus reflected late-war strategic shifts rather than immediate battlefield requirements. The Heinkel HE-162 was developed rapidly as a lightweight jet fighter intended for mass production. Emphasis was placed on speed, simplicity, and minimal material use under severe industrial constraints. The aircraft reached operational units late in the conflict, limiting its overall impact. The HE-162 marked the final wartime chapter of Heinkel's aircraft production, before post-war restrictions ended further development. So that was the Heinkel aircraft family. I did not include prototypes or purely experimental designs, focusing only on aircraft that reached large-scale or operational production. This overview covered the full range of Heinkel's aviation output within those limits. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.